Hello friends, welcome back to Aunt Debbie's Boutique. We have been doing a series on making gifts for people, and this is a continuation of the last video I put out, which was making a garment bag. And this is an extra step that you can do if you want to have your garment bag have a zipper pocket in the back of it. A nice big zipper pocket. So that makes it a little more advanced, and that's why I decided to put it in a separate video. We're taking our outside lining fabric that is about 42 inches wide, just the width of your fabric minus the selvage, and it is 46 inches long. I have put a crease down the center, and I have this folded in half the other way. Now this crease is naturally in the fabric because that's where it's folded on the bolt. But now I have folded it down so that my selvages are on the outside edges, and I'm just doing this so I can mark the center of this. And then I want to come down 1 inch, and I want to draw a line in the center. Now that's just a rough line. I'm going to make it better in a little bit. Now what we need is, I should have said, you're going to need for your pocket a piece of fabric that is 40 inches long and 20 inches wide. So you'll have to get about 1 1/8 yards extra fabric to make this zipper pocket. And I'm using my lining fabric. You could use the same fabric as your outside, it doesn't matter. And you're going to need an 18-inch zipper. So what I'm going to do is from the center point, I hope this is showing on there okay. From the center point, I'm going to measure out 9 inches in each direction. And that's how far I'm going to extend my line. And I'm using an erasable pen. Okay. Going to go 9 inches the other direction. Then I'm going to come down 1/2 inch and I want to make sure I know where the end of my zipper is. Okay, I do on that. So I want to come down 1/2 inch from that first line. And I'm going to draw a second line. Now I have a little box here. I am going to take my piece of fabric for my pocket, and with right sides together, I'm going to line up the center. Line up the center on both of them, and line up the edge with your fold. And actually, I should have drawn that on this, so we're going to draw it again. Sorry about that. I'm thinking about too many things at once. but we want to draw it on the back side of our lining. Okay, from the center, I want to go 9 more inches. Now I'm going to do a 1/2 inch. Now I'm going to pin it all the way through both fabrics, but I only want to pin through one thickness. So I'm going to get a couple of pins in here, and then I'm going to open it up so I don't catch. Now, I only have one layer, and this is the bottom half of my outside fabric. And I'm going to put more pins in it so I can hold it in place. Now, that's probably a lot easier to see on this fabric than it was on that blue fabric, but technically they should be in the exact same place. So I'm going to take it over to the sewing machine and I'm going to stitch all the way around. Okay, here is our rectangle that has been sewn. Now, I am going to take a pair of scissors and I'm going to cut right down the center, and on the corners I'm going to clip them to a corner so that it looks kind of like a Y at each end. So let me get it started here. I'm cutting through both fabrics. And then about a 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch from the end, I'm cutting right up into the corner. But I don't want to clip those threads. And clip that thread, it's a tail. But I want to get it right to the corner there. Clip right up to each corner. Now I'm going to turn the pocket fabric to the inside. This is so big that it makes it kind of difficult to handle on camera here. So I'm going to turn this all the way around, and then I'm going to press this down, but I want to try to get it right on that seam. And the same for the top here. And we want to get our corners. And I can just barely see that line I drew on the blue fabric, so we got them lined up perfectly. Now what we have is a perfectly faced little window, and that's where our zipper is going to go. Now we want to make sure that our zipper opens the right direction, so you want to put the pull on this side. I'm going to take some of my 1/4 inch double-sided tape, pull the zipper out here. I want to iron my zipper very nicely, and I want to test it. Okay. Then I'm going to take a piece of tape and I'm going to put it right on the outside edge of the zipper, because we don't want that tape to get in the way of our seam or be sticking out through our window. If you pull it nice and tight while you're lining it up, it will go on straight. Make sure it's down real good. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, with my zipper pull on my right side, this down here is the bottom of my fabric. So if you have directional fabric, make sure it's going right. The top is way down on the other side. I am going to pull off the white part of the zipper tape. I think I'll just do it one side at a time. I'm just going to slip this under here. It's very sticky and it's a little cumbersome, but we'll get it on there. And there's a little stitching line on my zipper that I'm using as a guide to put the fold right on that. Press that down real good. Now I want to take off paper on the other side. I'm going to start at one end or the other, just so I know where to line it up. And it's going to line up right on that same stitching of my zipper on the other side. And just for grins, I'm going to iron it in place real good. Now this zipper appears to be a hair shorter than 18 inches. If I had it to do all over again, I'd probably make this seam about, this cutout window about 17 inches so I could cover up some of this excess here on each end. But it will be fine like that. Now I'm going to take it over to the machine and I'm going to put on my zipper foot and I'm going to top stitch or edge stitch right all the way around. And when I'm by the pool, I'm going to open it up because wherever you're at the pool, even with a zipper foot, you'll curve out. So I try to keep the zipper pull out of my way as I'm stitching. Okay, let's go to the machine and stitch that. we now have our zipper set in, and I broke my own rule and didn't move the pull when I was at this end, and it did sway out just a little, but not much. So give it a good press. Now we're going to go to the back side. These kind of pockets are done a lot of times in suit coats, only they don't always have a zipper. Sometimes they just have the little window. And I think it's called a welt pocket that way. And they're done a lot in bags. Now, again, with right sides together, I'm folding this 40-inch piece up here, so it's now 20 inches. And I am going to sew all the way around this edge, all the way around this edge, and all the way around this edge. But I do not want to catch my outside fabric. I don't want it to show. So we're going to be pulling it away as we sew, which is going to be real easy, even up here at the top. Okay, I'm going to pin it, and then I'll meet you at the sewing machine, and we will stitch around, and we'll be done with our pocket. I am going to make about a 1/2 inch seam. It doesn't really matter the width of your seam, because it's all on the inside anyway. Okay, we have it sewn all the way around on 3 sides. The bottom is just folded. Okay, let's look at it from the front. Pull it down nice and even. Okay, here is our zipper, our inset zipper, which makes a pocket. When we open it up, there is a 20-inch deep pocket in there. And this fabric is going to match the lining fabric on my garment bag. Now, like I said, you can use this technique for all sorts of things, not just garment bags. Almost all pockets that are on the outside of purses or wallets or bags are done this way. So all that you see is this little zipper, and the pocket itself is on the inside and hidden. So now you're a pro at insetting zippers, and you can either insert it in your garment bag you're making, or just save this for something else you're going to make one day. Now, to learn how to construct the rest of the garment bag, you'll have to watch last week's video, or last weekend's video. And I'm actually filming this before I film that one, because I'm going to take it from this point on and do a simple garment bag. And I didn't want to inset the zipper for those that are really beginners. This might be an extra step. Okay, thank you for joining me today. I'd really appreciate it if you would like and comment on my video. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We are over 500 members now, and that just does my heart good. But of course, my goal is 1,000. So if you would share it with friends, I'd appreciate that too. All right. Remember, whatever you do, do it to the glory of the Lord. Thank you.